What do you do when you live full-time in an RV and you are not by family, back home, and there's a medical emergency and we need to get back? What do you do? Let's go down that road. Hello, faithful people. This is a special edition of Roads of Faith. We have something that came up.
Yeah. My brother had a heart attack yesterday, and situation is not real good at the moment. So we pray along with our family that God will intervene and grant him healing and recovery soon. But we don't know what God's plan is, so we are making preparations to leave here and head back to Wisconsin for an undetermined period of time.
And here is Fredericksburg, Texas, where Gary served last year a vacancy for 5 months. And we just came back for a visit. If you've been following our channel, we're maybe a couple of weeks behind real time right now, but this is pretty much real time. I will try and post this somewhere along the way or as soon as we get back to Wisconsin in a couple of days. So we will catch you up on the other things later, but we just wanted you to know what's happening. We have to prepare our home to leave it behind because we can't take it back to Wisconsin with the cold and the snow and the ice and everything else. So we are very, very blessed to be back here in Fredericksburg, where our church family here has said, leave it behind, no problem. You can leave it parked in the church parking lot. And so that's one less thing we have to worry about. But we do have a lot of preparation, a lot of things we have to think about in case we're going to be gone for a couple of months. So we're going to share with you some of the things we're doing. Gary is pulling some things out from under the bed. We have a storage under here, and this is where we have kept out-of-season clothes. We keep our suitcases that we keep our out-of-season clothes in. So Gary's bringing those. We've always kept suitcases under the bed with clothes in them in case of an emergency. We would have the suitcases ready to go in case we needed to fly home or something. In this case, we are going to drive, and we should make it back in a couple days. 2 long days. But without the RV behind, we can go much faster.
Yeah.
We're going to have this for supper tonight, and I've got a couple other things that we can maybe use out of the freezer here tonight. I don't know. But we do have permission from the church to keep our freezer food in the church freezer, which is going to be very helpful. Do some food prep. I'm going to wash up the carrots and I'm going to peel them, and I'm going to just kind of get things ready and prepped so that we can take some things with us and eat out of the cooler on the way up to Wisconsin, so we don't have to stop at any restaurants or anything. Up above the dinette we have some canned goods and things. Those should be okay. It's not going to get that terribly cold. Might get down into the 30s or something for lows, but the daytime highs will warm up. So, and they're up off the ground, so they should be okay. Since we know we're going to be gone at least a month, possibly 2, we don't know. Could be sooner, could be later. We are going to be taking all of our dried things with us too. I make a cereal mix with nuts and seeds that I should really show you one of these days. And we have a bag of oatmeal that's opened. All those kinds of things will have to go with us. Our bathroom is an absolute disaster right now. I'm having a hard time focusing here on where I should be doing. But our medicine cabinet, I'm looking through things in there to see what is going to be okay, if it's froze or not. Tonight we're going to stay one night at an RV park here in Fredericksburg so that we can I can run all the water that I need or whatever. It can all just be dumped right away in the morning, and then we won't have to run any more water through the pipes or anything. And then when we get back tomorrow morning to the parking lot here, we will blow all the air out of all of the pipes and everything, and out of the tanks, and so the tanks will be empty. There won't be any water in the pipes or anything like that, so we shouldn't have to worry about things freezing or breaking while we're gone. And we can leave a key, and it's in a very easy view of the pastor and his home, so we can have him checking on things for us too while we're gone. It's just the timing is just unbelievable that we actually are here when all this is happening. It's just, God is amazing. We are at Lady Bird Park. It's a municipal park here in Fredericksburg, and this is where we're going to be parked for the night. Met our neighbors already, and we're packing. And one of the things that I am taking with me are scarves, because I love scarves. I wear scarves a lot. You've probably seen me wearing a lot of them in our videos, especially in the cold weather. Actually, only in the cold weather. And since it's going to be cold up there, I'm taking pretty much all my scarves. So how do you pack scarves or other things and really take up a little room in the suitcase is to pack them in bags like this, gallon bags, and then squish and squeeze all the air out of them and make them as flat as possible. Okay, we're gonna do some food prep. One of the things I want to fix is jicama. I don't know if you've ever heard of that. We did not hear of it or know anything about it till we got to Texas last year, and we don't see it in very many grocery stores in Wisconsin. So it is a really good healthy snack, and I'm going to prepare that. This is what it looks like. That's how it's spelled. And what we do with it is you cannot use a potato peeler or a vegetable peeler on it. You have to take a knife and just peel off all of the, just scrape it off. And this is what it looks like when it's peeled. That's all the peelings off of it. Now I'm going to cut it in half and in half and in half and in half until I just get smaller, like French fry type sizes. All right, we have 2 bags. This one is going to be the one that we will have all the snack stuff in, except for the cooler stuff. But all the other kind of snacky things like the nuts and the bars and the bread for making sandwiches and fruit and things like that, that's all going to be in this bag. This bag is going to be stuff that we're going to want while we're at Gary's mom's. So we won't have to have this one as accessible in the truck. And the refrigerator is stocked with all the things that we're going to want for snacking on as well, and meals. So hopefully we won't have to stop at any restaurants at all. That is the plan. This is something that I got from my mom this summer when we were downsizing her home. And it is a big tote bag when it's opened up, but it really folds up into a super compact size. Highly recommend something like this to keep under your bed in your RV bed, because, or somewhere in your RV, so that you have that extra tote bag, nice big size tote bag to use for taking along extra things if you have an emergency like we have. And this is how big it is when it's opened up. That is a big bag. And then it's got pockets in the front as well. So now to pack up all the toiletries. This is kind of a nasty thing, but it needs to be done. This is the toilet cleaner.
Magic wand, sorts.
So you have to make sure the pump is off, because you're putting water in with a hose, this hose, and it goes down inside, and it just flushes it really good. The pipes and the tubes and everything. This is a good thing to do periodically, but it really works best when you're at a campground and you have a dump station right connected to your house. That really works out well. So that's why we stayed at the campground last night. This was part of it. And the fact that we were able to use all the water we needed to last night while I was prepping all that food. Not having to worry about being really stingy with the water. I was able to use a little bit more than I wanted to. And it's good to have a bucket or something to put the end of the wand in when you're leaving.
Because it's stinky.
Yeah, it's not a pleasant job, but it has to be done. Not sure where we're going to put all this. We're taking our own bedding and a set of towels. They weren't quite dry from last night yet when we took our showers. The cooler. Some of the food we might be leaving at the church. We're going to see, but yeah, somehow we're going to fit all this into, and our dirty laundry is all going to go with us in the truck. And we don't have a back end to use, just the back seat. And it's not a full seat. So once the tanks are all completely empty, completely flushed out and everything, now the next step is to go back to the church, and we're going to have someone from the church put an air compressor on the tubes and blow out whatever it might be left in any of the pipes. So we're got everything out of the freezer yesterday, but we're using the refrigerator, so now we're going to shut this off. And it's off. And now I'm going to let this defrost. There's not much on it because we defrosted it just a little while ago. And then we'll wipe it out, get that nice and dry. And now to empty the refrigerator and put that in the cooler. So I got the freezer defrosted, but I cannot put this down the drain like I normally do. I got to throw it outside. But it's pretty good. I just got to wipe it down now. And the refrigerator has already been wiped out. So I think we are good to go on that. And we are off. Whoa, that was a lot to prepare.
Yeah.
I am so sorry I did not get a chance to show you how we blow out the air into the pipes. Had some people from the church that were talking to us while Gary was doing that. I didn't want to feel rude and interrupt them, so they're being so kind to us and everything. But anyway, we'll probably have to show you that in another video.
Got all the water blown out of the water lines.
Yeah.
And drained the tanks. Put antifreeze in the drains. And I think we're good for cold weather if we need it. Yeah.
If they get a sudden really cold spell, that's what we're preparing for. It's better to over-prepare than to under-prepare. And
so the refrigerator is cleaned out. The gas lines are shut off. And everything is secure.
And they have a key.
They do.
So if they had to move it for some reason or go in and check on it or something, they can do that. All right, so we're on our way. We're taking the fastest route. We have, look how full we are. Oh my gosh, we got so much stuff in here. Gary's brother this morning was eating breakfast when they got to the hospital, so that's a good sign. But we still don't know if his heart is beating on its own yet. We're still not, I mean, he still has a long road of recovery. And
it's progress. So
yes,
we're grateful, and God is good.
Yes. So, what do people do if they don't have friends to leave their RV with, like we did? Well, I think when you live in an RV, you have this community that is very different than staying in hotels. If you were staying at a campground or something and you had a family emergency and you had to go home, you had to fly home or drive home like we're doing, then you probably could leave it at the campground. You could leave it plugged in. You could, just do that. Or a lot of times campgrounds will have a space off to the side where you can park it. And in that case, you would have to winterize it like we did. If you're going to be in an area that could get cold, then you would want to do that. You could also put it in a storage place, which you would still have to winterize it and all those things and shut off the gas and all the stuff that we did. So there are other options. We did give some food away because it was perishable and we didn't have room for it. We had just gotten groceries, and that's why we had so much food to take care of and do something with. On the way home, it'll be a little lighter. We won't be quite so packed. I know this probably wasn't the best. I know there were some things that maybe you wouldn't have to deal with necessarily like we did. Maybe you have other things you have to deal with, medications and things like that. We had supplements because we take a lot of supplements, and we brought those with us as well as our spares because we don't know how long we're going to be gone. Yes, you could buy things when you get to different places, but if we don't have to spend the money, it's bad enough, the gas and possible hotels. We have a long trip ahead. It's about 21 hours if we go straight through. If we make stops for gas and potty breaks and things like that, it's going to be about 24 hours maybe. And if we decide to stay at a hotel tonight, then we will be, that'll be even longer yet. We'd really like to get there as soon as possible. And hopefully it'll all be good news. Well, maybe you want to know how this all ended up. It's a miracle.
It is.
An absolute miracle. First of all, the fact that he even survived the heart attack was one thing, because he'd been having heart attacks for almost 2 weeks prior to going to the emergency room, but didn't know that's what it was. he didn't have the normal symptoms that most people do.
So he did not have the normal symptoms. He just felt like he had the flu. And it turned out that when it got bad enough, he told Brenda, it's time to go to the doctor.
Yeah.
It's around 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. So they went and did that, drove almost an hour to get to the emergency room, and they caught it right away. They knew what was going on right away, and he was taken in for, he did not have open heart surgery. He had angioplasty, and they put a little balloon in. We won't go into all the technical terms or anything like that, but the first couple of days were just like, we were en route by this time, and we were hearing that, you know, the first thing we heard before we left was that he had a 20% chance to live the full month. And then it increased the next day while we were on our way up here to a 50% chance. And I was like, okay, that's getting better. Well, we went to go see him today. We drove 28 hours. It took 28 hours to get to Wisconsin and to his mom's house. Got here late last night, and then we went down to the hospital today. And do you want to tell what great news we heard?
He's doing well enough that his doctor's been astonished and amazed that he is not only up and around, but he's healing. We don't know how much the heart's going to heal yet, but some serious damage done. All the same, they're talking about now therapy over years instead of days or weeks. And he's coming home tomorrow or Sunday, but likely tomorrow.
Not even a week total, but just, I mean, this is all God. Definitely God watching out.
He certainly has made use of some very talented people down at the hospital, and has listened to and answered prayers of family and friends and all of you out there that have been keeping us and him in your prayers. Thank you.
We had put something on Facebook prior to this video. We had put something on Facebook with more of a real-time kind of thing, and lots of prayers from all over the country. And
thank God. And we're very relieved to have made this trip just to have a party with my brother and family.
So we'll be having Thanksgiving with family, and then we'll probably be heading back to Texas
at some point in the not too distant future. So we have much to learn yet. So does he, and we'll see how it all goes.
We're going to see how things are when he gets home, and just how if there needs to be any adjustments or anything like that. But the doctors said he can go up and down stairs, not a problem.
So we're hoping that the therapy he gets is going to serve him well, and the cold therapy that we're getting will serve us well too.
That is the news. God works in mysterious ways.
Wonderful ways.
So thank you for staying with us and everything. We will be showing you some videos going back to picking up where we left off, and showing you some really cool things from Galveston Island. From Fredericksburg, we'll be showing you what we did on Gary's birthday before we found out everything about that. We climbed a giant piece of granite. I mean, like, giant.
It was an enchanting experience.
And we'll show you more on that later. Appreciate all of your comments and prayers and everything very much. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up, and hit that subscribe button down below if you haven't yet. And please follow along with us, and we'll take you on our journey. When you subscribe, there's going to be a little bell that's going to pop up, and if you tap on that bell, ring that bell, you will get notified every time new videos come up. Check out our Facebook page, Roads of Faith. And until next time, God bless.